So back to video number 2, using the Tascam DP-03SD, okay? Now this time, in video number 1, you should know totally how to get sound out of this recorder by using the SD card. So we showed you how to put the SD card in. Well, just a quick summary. So I'm gonna turn this off. Okay, so we've turned it off. We're going to show you the SD card. So what we do is we take the card, we put it in the recorder. This is a quick review. Then we turn the machine on, and once again we hit the standby. And we're now on. Okay. Now at the end of this, I'll show you how to put a certain song into the recorder, okay? We're kind of doing this ass backwards, but you may want to go to a further video. I don't know if there's going to be 2 or 3 videos, okay? So remember that we showed you how to move these sliders and also make sure the master volume's up, and then have your headphones in, okay? So to hear volume, you need the headphone volume up, you need the master volume up, and you need one of the sliders up. And you press play, and if there's anything on the card, you'll hear it through the headphones, and you'll also see these lines. Okay? So I'm going to hit stop. Now, let's talk about recording. All right? So in order to record, we're going to be playing into one of these microphones. Now, number 6 says microphone A, and number there's not a number, but this is microphone B here. So what we're going to do is just record something on channel, we're going to use channel 7, okay? So what's happening here is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 have stuff on them, so we don't want to record over it. So let's say we want to record the banjo on 7, okay? So what we do is we, of course, have to turn this up, and then to hear it, we press that record button, and you notice that it's blinking, all right? Now, 7, 1, 3, 5, and 7, you can write this down, 1, 3, 5, and 7, the odd numbers are recorded through mic A, okay? If you use 2, 4, 6, or 8, then they're going to be coming through mic B here, okay? Now, once again, make sure to not record over tracks 1 through 5 because you will erase whatever's on there. Okay, now, what you can do is you can take your finger and don't hit it real hard, and you will actually hear your finger tapping the mic through your microphone. Plus, you'll see how 7. Okay, now when you record, you want the recorder to these lines to be at least halfway up, okay? You also want to have your instrument within 4 or 5 inches of the microphone, okay? We won't tell you why, but you get a much clearer sound that way. Okay, so once you're ready to record, you got your banjo, you then have what you want to listen to. Okay, so we have Dave Peterson, so let's say we want to play some backup to him, and you've got it adjusted. You have this adjusted, you've listened to it. So now, what I've always done, they say to press play and record at the same time, but usually it's easier just to hit play and then immediately record. This light, you will notice, will quit blinking. So once it's quit blinking, okay, now, so see how it's blinking? So that's not recording right now, okay? Let me press record and play, and you'll see. Okay, so it's now recording, okay? Okay, so we do that. Then, how do we get back to 0? Remember from the first tape? This is your quiz. You take the magic finger here, and you press in, and voila, you're back at the beginning, okay? You probably want to turn that button off, and you can now hit play, and you can listen to what you just recorded along with Dave. Now you might want to just hear the banjo by itself. In that case, you'll notice I've turned everything off but 7. Remember, 7's the banjo. I press play, and I can hear what you just recorded on the banjo. Okay, we hit stop. All right, so how do we get back to 0, to the beginning? We press in, okay? So now we've recorded something. Let's say we want to, and I didn't mention one other thing here. When you record, you're going to see in number 5, we're going through A. First of all, you want this dial to be around straight up, okay? Secondly, you'll notice a switch, okay? It says guitar, mic line, internal mic. Press that down, and what that does is it means that the internal mic, which is right here, is connected, okay? Now, if the switch is here, you won't hear anything, okay? So, in fact, just to show you that, test 1, 2. See how I've got the switches on mic line, and see there's nothing happening? I press mic A, bingo. You can see under A that you're getting some recording. Now, if I turn this off, you'll also see nothing's going on. So this is the volume control of the actual recording, okay? Test 1, 2. All right? Now, so review all that so you can do it. Now, let's say you want to do a second banjo solo, but you want to keep the first one, okay? So the first one's on 7. Well, remember how I told you that in A, that it's 1, 3, 5, and 7? And once again, you can listen to this video many different times and take notes. B, that's input A. So let's go over to input B, okay? What have I noticed? See that switch right there? It says mic line. You need to make sure it says internal mic B, okay? See, that's incorrect, correct, all right? Now, so we're going to record on channel 8, okay? So we pull up 8 and we press that record button, and that's blinking, okay? Test 1, 2. And you also, once again, get your instrument close to the microphone. And one other thing you'll notice, if you're turning this and you see that red light come on, or at input A, okay, now we're actually at input B here. Test 1, 2. Okay, see how that come on? That means it's too loud, so you just back it off, okay? So you want to have this line about halfway, okay? But you don't want it so loud that that this red light comes on, or that this hits the top, okay? All right, so I think we're ready. Okay, so this is blinking, so I press play, record, and that quit blinking, and this is now recording. But I just recorded it just by banjo, and I want to hear him along with Dave Peterson. So let's hit stop, okay? Let's go back to in, so we're at 0. Let's turn up Dave Peterson, which is tracks 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you mix it however you want. Okay, now let's try it again. This is still blinking, so we play and then record real quick. It quits blinking. So we're listening to Dave, and you go ahead and play your banjo. Okay, now we're done. We hit stop, turn that off. Need to go back to the beginning, so we put in, and we're ready to listen to what we just did. Okay, so the way that he did those songs on the SD card, he actually leaves a space for a break. So while he's singing, you can play backup And then when you have a chance to do lead, you can do lead, okay? Now let's say you just want to do the lead only and don't want to do backup and don't want the vocal. What do? You simply come down here when you're recording and just turn him off. And that way you have guitar, bass, and mandolin chop, okay? So that's one of the ideas of this thing, is you have total flexibility. Or let's say you're like me and you have a loss in your bass frequencies, okay? Well, when I record, I would, I believe the bass is right here. I just crank the bass way up. See how it's, okay? Now, so you can play your banjo along with bass only, vocal only, chop only, or guitar only, or any combination of those. Okay, and let's go back to 0. Okay, so that is how to record, and so that's video number 2, how to record.